Hi everyone, in this video we're going to talk all about modals that show ability. There's three main ways that we can use modals to show ability, and that's with the modals can, could, and be able to. So let's get started. All right, so like I said, we're talking about modals that show ability, which means that you know how to do something, and it can be something physical with your body, or it could be something you learn. Okay, so we use can, okay, not pronounced that way actually. I'm saying it slowly, so I say can, but when we're speaking quickly, we don't say can, we actually say can. I can swim. I can run. Can, okay? And when we make it negative, we actually don't pronounce the T at the end, but we do pronounce the A and say can. I can't swim. I can't run. It sounds the same. So sometimes people will have a hard time understanding what you're saying, even a native speaker of English to another native speaker of English. That's pretty normal. It's pretty common. But as far as using the word can for ability, it's kind of great because you can use can for affirmative statements, questions, and negative statements. So let's look at some examples. Okay, so here's some examples with can. We have, she can speak 2 languages. She can. So this is an affirmative statement. It's affirmative. It means she has the ability to speak 2 languages. She can't speak Japanese. Here, obviously, it's negative. That means she does not have the ability to speak Japanese. And notice I'm using can't. You could also say cannot, but can't is pretty common. And then here I'm making a question. Can you speak Japanese? With the modal can. So in all of these examples, we're talking about present time. We're not talking about the past. We're not talking about what's happening right now. We're talking about just general present facts or routines, habits, things like that. We can use the word can to refer to the future sometimes, but we don't use it to refer to the past. We usually use it just to refer to the present time. So again, she can speak 2 languages right now, every day. It's a routine. She can't speak Japanese. That's also a routine that she does not have. Can you speak Japanese daily as a routine, as part of your life? So these are for the present time. We could use it for the future, like I said. So for example, I can say, can you go to the party tonight? That means, are you able to go? Do you have the ability to go to the party tonight, future time, okay? So what you need to know about this one is that you can use it for affirmative statements, negative statements, and questions, but it's used mainly for the present and for the future, okay? Not for the past. If we want to use an ability modal to talk about the past, that's when we use could. That's where could comes in. Could has other meanings, okay? But one of the meanings is ability, but past, okay? So I want to point that out. It's for past ability. And also we can use it for affirmative, negative, and questions. So all I can do here is just replace this can with the word could, and then maybe add some time words to show I'm talking about the past. So she could speak 2 languages when she was a child in the past. She could. She couldn't speak Japanese when she was a child in the past. Could you speak Japanese when you were a child? Could you speak it before you moved here? Past, okay? So again, you can use could, affirmative, negative questions, but for the past, okay? All right, the last modal that we use to talk about ability, and my favorite, to be honest, is actually a phrasal modal, and it's be able to. So be able to has a few parts to it. You want to make sure you always change the verb be whenever you add it to a sentence. The verb be needs to match the subject. In other words, it needs to agree with the subject. So if the subject is I, the verb be will be am, I am. If the subject is you, it's are, you are. If it's he is. If it's they are. So you just need to make sure you have subject-verb agreement with this verb. It does change. And then you keep able to the same. But like all modals, after this one, after this one, after this one, you always want to use the base form of the verb. No change to whatever verb you use, no change. Don't add anything, don't modify it, just use the base form of the verb, like here, speak. Could speak, that's the base form of the verb. So after be able to, you also should use the base form of a verb. So let's look at our examples again. Let's see if we can change these around and use be able to. She is able to speak 2 languages. She is able to speak 2 languages. She isn't able to speak Japanese. Here the subject is you, so we can say, are you able to speak Japanese? Are you able to speak Japanese? And now I'm using it as a question. But notice the verb tense for all of these is what? Present. This is present, okay? So I can use it in the present, but I can also use it in the past. So just like with could, that's the way we show past of the word can. But with be able to, you can use it in the present and the past by adding a past form of be. She was able to speak 2 languages. She wasn't able to speak 2 languages. Were you able to speak 2 languages when you were a child? All of this now is past, okay? So I'm going to add that up here that you can use be able to in the past. But you can also use it for future. So take a look at this. Okay, she will be able to speak 2 languages by next year. She will be able to speak 2 languages by next year. Future, I'm just adding will before be. But of course, will is a modal. You don't change it. And you need the base form after will. And then you're going to use the rest of this modal and then another base form verb. She won't be able to speak Japanese by next year because she's not practicing enough. Or will you be able to speak Japanese next year? Yes or no? So here I'm using future to use be able to. So you can use be able to with present, past, and future, and you can use it for affirmative, negative, and questions. So that's why I always say that be able to is my favorite. It is longer, but you can use it for everything. Whereas over here, can is only used for present time and future. Could is only used for past, but it's fine. Use them. They're very common. But if you're still not sure which one to use, you will always be right if you use be able to. But of course, you have to make sure you change the verb correctly with that one. And that's it for using modals for ability. I hope that this has helped you out a little bit. All right, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.